Dear friends, I wonder if you are aware of a name, Robert Charles Swan, who was the first man to walk to both the South and North Pole. He has this to say: "The greatest threat to our planet is the belief that somebody else will save it." This quote I find highly relevant to this year's Virtual Student International Exchange Program, CURA, at SJI. Before I begin, I'd like to thank St. Joseph's Institution for hosting this exchange program. It is my honor and privilege to deliver this address of the first virtual international student exchange organized by St. Joseph's Institution, SJI, in Singapore. I would also like to extend a very warm welcome to our international participant in this inaugural exchange. This event truly is an example of how our students today are the future of not just our countries, but the world. In fact, I have a firm belief that development of institutional linkages through such methods enrich those who are involved. The theme for this year's program is CURA, meaning to care or be concerned in Latin, relevant to the challenges we face as a global society. Amidst this pandemic, we have observed the importance of CURA as we endure wave after wave of rising COVID-19 cases with our local communities, caring for one another in times of crisis. This pandemic truly has highlighted the best in humanity, exemplifying genuine care and empathy. Beyond this pandemic, however, there will be many new and complex challenges to be faced, one of which being climate change. CURA underpins one of the central tenets that we should embody as we work towards curating a more sustainable future for us all, one that is joint and not singular. How then should we work towards doing so? At the United Nations, a shared blueprint for peace and prosperity has been set. This blueprint is also known as the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, or UN SDGs. These are 17 global goals set by the United Nations in September 2015 in order to aid sustainable development. It is a call for actions for our people, for the planet, for now and into the future. Here's what the SDGs are all about.
Did you know that the UN Sustainable Development Goals are a universal call to action that unites 193 countries around the world? If these global goals are fulfilled by 2030, life on Earth will be better for everyone. So, what are these goals? Eliminate poverty in all its forms. No hunger. Everyone should have safe, nutritious, and sufficient food. Everyone has equal access to healthcare, thus ensuring our well-being and a healthy life. Equal access to a quality education. Ensure gender equality where women and girls have the same opportunities as men and boys. By achieving these goals, each member of our society will be equal, safe, and happy. UN global goals also include access to safe drinking water and sanitation, access to clean energy that is safe for people and the environment, sustainable and stable economic growth. Everyone has a decent job, strong infrastructure, and the support of innovations. Lower inequality within and among countries. Cities and settlements be developed without damaging the environment and people. Achieving these goals will result in the well-being of people and our planet. We can further take care of our environment with the following goals: sustainable and safe production and consumption of products. Take urgent measures to reduce climate change and its impact. Ensure the sustainable use and protection of ocean and sea resources. Restore and protect Earth's ecosystems. By achieving these goals, we will form a society where strong institutions ensure peace and justice. It is important for everyone to be involved and to build partnerships for achieving sustainable development goals. You are part of this process. Demand the implementation of these goals. Take the lead and share information with your friends.
As mentioned, the US SDGs are an urgent call for actions for all countries, developed and developing, in a global partnership to tackle global challenges the world would face by 2030. It has been noted that for this exchange, three relevant UN SDGs, good health and well-being, responsible consumption and production, and climate action, have been selected and will be the central focus throughout this program. I hope that through your preparation for your presentations, each and every one of you will be enriched through sharing your experiences from your own country and bringing your cultural perspectives to the various SDGs. 3. Good health and well-being aims to ensure healthy living and promote well-being for everyone, regardless of age. The COVID-19 pandemic has shown us that we sometimes take modern healthcare for granted. By 2021, however, there were disruptions to essential health services in 92% of countries worldwide. And the pandemic also claimed the lives of 115,500 frontline healthcare workers. In addition, there has been an increased prevalence of anxiety and depression worldwide. It is hence important for us to look for ways to support each other in living healthily in mind and in body, and to work towards supporting and improving our healthcare systems, that the mental and physical well-being of all may be well cared for. SDG 12, Responsible Consumption and Production, seeks to achieve sustainable management and the efficient use of natural resources with the goal of halving global food waste per capita. Its significance lies in the fact that our Earth is unable to sustain the increasing demand for energy, food, water, and other necessary resources to provide for the rising middle class. In fact, with unequal patterns of life quality and consumption in the world, such as differences in daily food consumption, car ownership per person, and greenhouse gas emissions per capita, we must now look for ways of doing better and more with less. SDG 13, Climate Action, is a key. Most of us live in cities or metropolitan areas, powerhouse of economic growth, which contribute to about 60% of global GDP. However, our lifestyles and where we live also count for about 70% of global carbon emissions and over 60% of resource use. The benefit of globalization and growth have failed to reach those most needed. Biodiversity is also disappearing. Greenhouse gases are also at record levels. This SDG demands that all of us take part in combating climate change and its impact. 3 years ago, in 2019, we experienced the second warmest year on record and the end of the warmest decade from 2010 to 2019, ever recorded, with carbon dioxide levels and other greenhouse gases in the atmosphere rising to new records, displaying the impact of climate change in every country. Climate change phenomena, from the typhoons in Hong Kong and unbearable heat in Singapore to the heavy rainfall in Japan, show how climate change disrupts national economies and affects lives. It is therefore our collective responsibility as one united family of humanity to address those important issues. I therefore present this question to you, our participant, of what you, as a future generation, do to help eradicate poverty and hunger, tackle climate change, and achieve all 17 global goals.
Welcome to the United Nations, and thank you for participating in this important intergenerational dialogue on the Sustainable Development Goals. We have no greater partner than you, the non-governmental organizations. Today, you reach across generations to help realize the vision of the 2030 Agenda, a life of dignity for all people. The youth and the older persons in this room have wisdom, experience, energy, and ideals. And some of you have spent decades fighting for what is right. Others have just started your journey. Both groups share the conviction that we owe it to the people of our planet to rise to this very difficult moment in history. Together, you can help break cycles of poverty that have lasted for generations and trigger transformational change that endures for generations to come. The United Nations is committed to working with you for a more peaceful, just, and prosperous future for all. Thank you.
Last year at COP26, many countries set ambitious targets to protect and restore ecosystems and building defenses, warning systems, and resilient infrastructure and agriculture to avoid loss of homes, livelihood, and even lives. This year at COP27, the same countries will reaffirm their commitment toward these targets. This is why the Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs, are so important. These targets provide humanity with a roadmap for a better future. It is very much the responsibility of each and every individual to ensure that our children and future generations inherit an earth that is, at the bare minimum, no worse off than the one we inherited from the ones before us. It is perhaps one of the noblest and highest aspirations that we can set ourselves as humans, and I believe it should guide everything we do as a species. You, like those before, have taken the first step to make the difference by participating in this exchange, CURA. I hope that you have a fruitful exchange and form friendships that will last. As you shall care for one another, do also remember to care for Mother Earth. She is the only one we have. Thank you. I wish all of you a meaningful exchange program.